this is going too well, so I guess I got to start a little something.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag in all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for season 5, episode 12 of Married to Medicine. And that's what I actually got. This was nothing more than a filler episode. We seeing this whole build up to this confrontation between Quad and Simone, and we got no further than the commercial. That's all it was. We sat here. We start off with Curtis and Jackie. Curtis and Jackie, after the first night, they're basically walking on the beach, just kind of talking. And I'm seeing in Curtis is an asshole. He just is. He's an asshole. He's one of those people, you make one step, but you feel like you made 10. So you're right. He's got her attention, and he's eased and weaseled his way somewhat into the fold, and you see the real Curtis peeking his head out, and he's kind of trying not to get what Jackie's saying. Stupid, just stupid, because she was basically speaking about, she started to tell him a little bit about the whole, his behavior and the pulling Toya into his lap thing and all of that. Like, you don't have that option because you are in a position where you've demonstrated bad behavior and everybody's eyes on you. You don't have the option to make these types of stupid mistakes. And he's so arrogant that he just ain't trying to get what she's saying. He's stupid. He's stupid. That's all there is to it. Yeah, he's stupid. Heaven takes Dr. Damon. Dr. Damon actually shows up. She takes him. They went out. She found his father's gravesite. So they had a whole little situation where she went out. He went to the gravesite and visited his dad's old church and all that. We found out that he basically had not been to Barbados since he was 17 years old, which was the last time he actually seen his father. He had a lot of unresolved issues as a young man. Once he did see his father, they resolved them and everything was pretty much good, but he didn't see his father again after that. So that was kind of a touching situation. Right shortly thereafter, there was a lunch. They were having lunch. Heavenly was explaining to the girls what her and Damon had experienced. And Quad, I can't even save you. Oh, I can't even save you. I can't save you in this time. I can't. It just is what it is. It's playing out on film. I can't save you. All I can say is, I said it in the last, your ass had no business being there. That's just all it is to it. Whatever is going on with you and Eugene has gotten to a place at this point in the programming that it is just fucking ugly. You're not in a good place with it, and you just should not have been on the trip. You're not even yourself on the trip. You're not fun. You don't seem to be having a good time. You're just, and I mean, I understand. I've been there. When your relationship is not working, it puts you in a place. And either you're sad, or you're evil, or you're a mix of the two. And that's what's coming across. I just think it would have just been so much easier for you just not to be in Barbados. Because you just didn't seem to be having a good time. You weren't in tune with anything that was going on. So it just was showing you in a bad light. So that's kind of what was going on. Heavenly's telling the story about the gravesite that Quad ain't really paying attention too much to what she's saying. You know, she's in her own world. And she interrupted the story to ask the damn woman for some salt and some pepper. I'm like, Quad, seriously? I was so done. She just not connected. Just not connected at all. And yes, it did come across very rude. It came across very rude. And then they corrected her. She didn't combat with them. She just kind of looked like, oh, damn. Yeah, oh, damn. You were rude as hell. And again, your shit's fucked up. And your mind ain't in the game. Later on, the guys were actually over there talking. And they basically had told Greg how combative he came across toward Quad the night before. So they brought him up to like, it's like, you're not, what you're doing ain't right either, dude. Like y'all missed the questions. Y'all are in a fucked up place. And then you're coming across real combative with her, so it's not just one of them, it's both of them. And me personally, I would have preferred that they weren't even there. I just would have preferred that they were not on this trip, because the trip, it ain't helping. It ain't helping them. It's just making it more evident that they got problems to the rest of the group. So I would have preferred that they not even be there. I really would have. I'd have preferred that they weren't even in these scenes. Then they had Dr. Tiffany come in. She's a sex therapist. Dr. Damon was not happy at all. He wasn't really trying to be a part of it. He even said in the confessionals he wasn't really feeling it. It was so funny. He was, again, tapped out of it. And he's sitting there, and she asked something about, the question was something about, where's the strangest place you and your mate have actually had sex? Child, this fool done squoze his glass so hard that the glass just crushed. I said, Lord have mercy, he is like real uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. I said, oh my God. Heavenly, with her messy ass, and Dr. Tiffany asked a question about it led to something about getting things from your mate that you want and you can't get them. It was that fucking stupid ass Curtis brought it up. What do you do when your mate's not giving you something that you want, you're not getting something? So she took it, naturally she's about sex, so she went to the thing of like a threesome. That goddamn Heavenly's up in that confessional. So, now she done put her foot in her mouth. She done messed up because, see, they done already had a threesome. Only problem is Jackie wasn't there. I said, oh, you're so fucking mean, Heavenly. That was so goddamn mean. I said, Lord have mercy. But it was very awkward. And it just goes to show you how arrogant and how stupid dumbass Lurch is, because he should have stayed away from all those things. He should have sat in that whole session and didn't say anything. Nothing. Just absolutely nothing. Did you see how Quad's ass was back there? Quiet. And if you ever notice, when it comes to the sex life between her and Gregory, she's always quiet, because she ain't comfortable discussing that in that group setting. She don't sit around and discuss the sex that her and her man has. And if you've ever noticed that in all these seasons, whenever those things come up, she's always quiet. She's always quiet. She ain't trying to have that conversation with them women. That just ain't who she is. But Curtis should have definitely just stayed quiet. Quiet was the way to go, Curtis. But you so goddamn arrogant with your big, tall, goofy Lurch ass that you just throw it all out there. Just stupid. Just stupid. And Contessa actually made comments where she's like, he is selfish and just a self-centered. Yes, he is, Contessa. He's a jackass. Overall, that whole session was just very awkward. It was very awkward. It was even very awkward to watch that segment. The next day, they did this healthcare mission, and the thing that came out on that, it's always good to see them at work. They were providing blood pressure screening and different things like that, and education for people on the island who really don't have healthcare coverage. So it's always good to see them at work and doing what they do. Well, they ran into a thing where they just decided to test each other. Anyway, that goddamn Eugene, his fat ass, his goddamn blood pressure was high as shit. To the point where they were like, well, we could take you to the nearest hospital. He's like, I'm not going to the hospital. This, that, and the other. We found out he has hypertension, knows that he has hypertension, supposed to be on medication, and ain't taking it. Are you serious? You trying to tap out? No, you know better. Sitting there talking to a patient. See, that's that shit. You're talking to this young guy, telling him about how he needs to lose weight and exercise and these things. And meanwhile, home at the ranch, you need to do the same thing, Grimace. You sitting over there and you're telling them you know what you need to do, but you ain't doing it. See, it's kind of hard to listen to a person who's telling you that you need to do something that they're not doing. And he refused to go to the hospital or anything like that. And they talked about it, and Toya was, leading on that this has been a problem. Hey, Eugene, get your goddamn self together. You already know better. You know better. So if your ass kill over there and have a heart attack and die, we're not going to feel sorry for you because you fucking know better, you fat bastard. Get your ass on that medicine and take them goddamn pills. You sitting around worried about her telling people that you masturbating. You ain't got no time to be sitting there shaking your little dang dong. You need to be putting them goddamn pills in your damn mouth. Fat fucker. Just ridiculous. Anyway, moving on. Then we get to the actual yacht outing. Now, the one thing I've actually noticed in this whole time, Mariah is actually having a good time. She's not fighting with nobody. She's not arguing with anybody. And it was actually nice to watch. Everybody's just having a good time. It wasn't, none of the scenes were awkward. They're all just chilling and having a good time. Heavenly and Mariah getting along, Quad and her just avoiding each other and everything's fine. Child, and the next thing you know, Mariah began to play the victim. They had a conversation when they got on the yacht. And they're like, yeah, you're having a good time. Everybody's having a good time. This is all good, this, that, the other. And then she decided to throw a couple shots out. She's like, yeah. She told Contessa, I'm fine as long as I don't say nothing. They all like me as long as I don't say nothing. I said, now why you... See, Mariah, bitch. Why? Because as soon as you do that, somebody's going to say something. Nobody's going to let you making those little slide comments, bitch. Somebody's going to say something. Now, I wanted to smack Quad in her nose for even buying the bait. And again, she knows you like she knows the back of her hand. She knows you like she knows the back of her hand. You're not never going to let it slide. And you didn't. Quad took a little shot back like, no, it's this, that thing, and the other. And when you don't own your stuff, Quad, shut up. Why did you even buy in? Why did you buy in? Again, I can't even take up for you. I can't even take up for you because you bought the bait. You bought the bait and it worked perfectly because you bought the bait. And then she ran back at you and said, well, no, what about the fact that everybody gives you a pass? See, nobody will give me a pass. She went right to her, all the way into her victim role. Nobody gives me a pass, but they always give Quad a pass. They'll give you a pass because you're the youngest, and it's just bullshit. So now the two of y'all are getting ready to get at it. And then we always know that Simone always got her foot ready to insert in her mouth. Simone had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it, but she jumped in, and her and Mariah are getting along so good that she said to Quad, well, no, yeah, you did. Simone, if you don't shut the fuck up, how did you think Quad was going to respond to you when you sit here and agree with Mariah and then pin it back on her? It worked like a charm. It worked like a charm because only bad part, I love Dr. Simone, but Dr. Simone is like the Cynthia of the group. She's flip-floppy. And she loud and she combative. You flip-flopped over there and then you basically sided with Mariah. You already know that's going to piss Quad off. I don't even know why you even entertained it. Both of y'all, Simone and Quad, you two played the fool. Y'all bought the bait. And now y'all sitting there going at it. And that's where we cut out. And this is going to lead to this big blow up and this yelling and screaming match between Quad and Simone. You two fools bought the bait. I said, are you kidding me? I looked at the two of them and I said, are you paying attention, whore? You're not paying attention. That bitch just set y'all up. And y'all both went right with your regular personalities and you bought the bait. But Quad, you should have never said nothing. You should have never ate the first part of the cookie that Mariah put out. And Simone, you just can't fucking help yourself. Dumb shit at its best. Dumb shit at its best. And again, I take it back to, I can't even stick up for Quad this time because I just think you should have still been in Atlanta. I don't even think you should have been in Barbados. You're not even in the vacation place. You should have had your ass somewhere working on your cookbook in Atlanta and not been on this trip with these girls because it wasn't going to turn out right because you ain't in the right state of mind. So it is what it is. I said I ain't got nothing else to say. I was like, child, this was a filler episode and y'all buying into the bait of the bullshit. See, what it really was, it was a plan set up by Todd to bring it back to y'all to come back with the bullshit in my Aunt Bertha. Anyway, I'm done. Y'all got me acting stupid. I'm done. I'm out of here. I'll talk to y'all next week. Later.